Hello. So this is going to be a different video from Sunday Sanctuary because, as you know, I made a video review on Homeleigh Garden Centre. That's right. The one in Carling Downs. Yeah, I went off on a tantrum. I was swearing non-stop. And that's something to do with your mental health as well. Because if you're swearing too much, that means you're stressing off, not a build up all of your mental health things. Like, let's say you got depression, you get stressed, that'll kick off. Anxiety, if you go down there, you remember all these different things, it'll stress you out, you give you anxiety and stuff. So instead of doing a mental health video tonight, I was planning on doing one about you're only human, you can cry, because you're allowed to cry if you're human. Yeah, instead of doing that one tonight, I'm going to be doing a review on Homeleigh Garden Centre. Now this is going to be a one without swearing, because as you notice, I was swearing quite a lot. It's actually, I was swearing too much, to be honest. So yeah, let's go. I'm going to basically, in this review, I'm going to be taking you through like the walk and stuff and how I got down there and all things. So one, is it easy to get to? Yeah, it is. You just catch the bus to Carling Downs and follow the signs down. Now, when you go down the hill from Carling Downs way, you've got kind of a tight corner, right? Now, I used to work there, and I think it's years and years and years and years and diddly squat years ago. Yeah, and I nearly got knocked over. Literally knocked over, because that corner has only got a grass verge. Now sometimes that grass verge is so high on the weeds. I mean, you've got like dandelions, well, it got pretty tall, you've got the grass, you've got other weeds that set seed there. And when it's wet, you're walking along, you might slip by accident and get knocked over by a car. But luckily I didn't. I was wearing my boots and I stopped myself. Now that's coming down from there. Now if you're coming down from Quenchwell side, you got nice paths going down. You've got the side verge to walk down. They're easy. Now, as you're going around that tight corner, there's a start of a path. Now, as you're going through, that Cornish wall on the side, that's normally nice and clean, all planted up. But as I'm seeing it, when I was going down there, it's full of weeds and stuff, and they got a green fence up, or a green security fence up. It's a Sunday, yeah. They've got a green security fence up now, which is good. Now, as I was walking to the end of that path, I remembered seeing lots and lots of daffodils. Now, these daffodils ain't there anymore. All I can see now is just weeds. Nothing there being planted. The Cornish wall on the other side, where I used to look after, that's covered in weed as well. Now, just inside of that Cornish wall, I completely weeded the whole lot of that out, cut a couple of trees down, and I had a look there, and it's just been let go again. So I thought, okay, that's different. Because you remember when Carling Downs Garden Centre was there, it was all good. Daffodils were coming up, everything was weeded, everything. That was done by me. Now, waiting for the car to pass. Started making my way downtown. Yeah, so I started, not downtown, I don't go downtown at night time. But anyway, when I started walking down to the actual area where that big industrial area is, well, where the Homeleigh Garden Centre is, quite garden centre, they got a gigantic white wall on the left hand side, Now that's got, fair enough, that's got all these like pots and stuff, which I remember. But now there's compost up there. And at the very back, they've got, I'm not too sure now, but they have a fish centre. You know, fish we can use in fish tanks. Now they're up there now, so I reckon they're tightly, kind of not very much spaced out, because the spaced out up in that place where it used to be a, was it a cafe? It was big in there, but it wasn't that big. If you get my drift. Yeah, so don't know. I wasn't really bothered about going up there. And plus, at that time, I didn't know that was actually a fish centre because it wasn't very, very well signed up. So, went past all that. Then I started getting to the front. Mm-hmm. Yes. I started getting to the front of the building. It's looking, for me, okay, to other people it may look good. But to me, it didn't look very good whatsoever. They've got a plain white wall all the way around. There's no plants outside, which there used to be. So there's nothing down there. And whenever I used to go to the garden centre, before it became Homeleigh Garden Centre, I had that feeling of going to a garden centre, looking at the plants, not the feeling of going down and seeing like a massive industrial building. So no. Okay, I'll give it a bit of a chance, really. Because I haven't been there for like roughly 6 years. So I gave it a bit of a chance and see how it goes. And I was hoping for good results. Goodness shave. I was hoping for like really good results because Homeleigh is all over the UK. And apparently they're a real big company. It's raining. Haha. It's a bit late. Should have been raining any late, like early afternoon. Well, anyway, went down, doors opened. And what did I see? Cladding either side. So there's no proper daylight coming into that section of the front section. No proper daylight whatsoever. The only daylight is coming from the roof, or the glass roof. And they had succulents on the left-hand side. On the right-hand side, there wasn't very good stuff. So, out of a 10 so far, that's a 1. Because when you go into a garden centre, you want that feeling of excitement to look at plants, look at the fish, everything. Which I didn't really get. So, yeah. That's not too bad so far. But they need to get rid of that cladding so they can let a bit more daylight in, if you know what I mean. But it is what it is. But for me, before they did all the like regenerating stuff, they should have just left it as it was and just tinkered a bit, tinker about. Hello. You should just like think about it a bit. They should just tinker a bit, and that's about it. Should have left it as it was, but tinkered it a bit. That's all it needed. Now, when I started walking in, front door or whatever, got to the point where there used to be a kind of like where there used to be a kind of like an information center, like kind of a board thing, where you can go there and ask them, where's this, where's that, and where's this, and where's that, and where's this. But that's not there anymore. All I can see now is clothes. Yeah. I can just see a whole load of clothes going down all the way down to the intersection. Nothing else, just clothes. Cotton wool clothes. I thought, okay, cotton wool clothes. Where's all the books? Where's all the plants? Where is everything? So then I had a look at the other side. Well, I turned my head. Yes, I turned my head to the right, and I had a look at the actual what do you call it? The actual cafe. I've got a question for the manager of that place. What have you done to the cafe, to be honest? What have you done to the cafe? I mean, you've cladded it out, and it doesn't feel so spacious anymore. It feels like you're walking into a posh cafe. If you take away all the cladding, it'll feel more spacious and it'll feel like a proper cafe. You know what I mean? I've got to stop saying it, you know what I mean? Because after I had a look around, I went into the cafe. I sat down. I was like sitting down at the back where I normally used to sit. But somebody's taken that seat, so I sat at the other side. And I thought to myself, now, where I'm sitting, I can normally see the people at the till and who's around me. But oh boy, not this time. No. They've got wood all the way up to your head. It's in your head. And then they've got a trellis all the way up to the top. So it's like kind of puffy. No, I can't really say that no. It's kind of blocking the view of what you want to see, you know. And I've nearly accidentally knocked over the waitress, because I got up, and that's another thing. I got up, the waitress was coming down, because I was going to order a coffee, and I'll talk to you about that in a minute. I was going to order a coffee. The waitress came down. Now, obviously, those boards are blocking the view. I nearly banged into her, and I nearly sent the food flying. So I stopped just in time, because if I didn't, that food would have gone flying. Flying, pigs might fly, so fly. But. For me, this is the funny part. I got up to the actual till section where they got all the food, glorious food, kind of. There in front of me was an absolutely massive glass display. Now this glass display was absolutely gigantic. And the food they had in there really didn't fill it up. It was like tiny bits of pastry in a glass case that is absolutely gigantic. Now this glass case is only meant for like big stuff, but they put little stuff in there instead. So, okay, fair enough. So I went over and I waited to order something. And I said to him, "Can I have a coffee, please?" He goes, "Sorry, we only have Americano." I said, "Okay, well, could I have a filter coffee?" That's what I said before. He said, "No, sorry, Americano only." Yeah, I wasn't happy about that. I said, "Okay, I'll have an Americano. Long as you got some cold milk in there, and tip half out." Now, people don't understand the word tip, as in pour some out. But I say the word tip, and they pour more in. Oops. So basically, I waited there, ordered my coffee, and I said to them, "Can I have a small coffee?" Because I know exactly how strong they make their coffee in that place. And they used to have small cups and medium cups, and probably, if you're lucky, a large cup. But no, they've only got one cup now. And if you ever play football, or you do have a football or a basketball, it's the underside of a football size. So it's like that. Depending on the size of your hand, it's that big. Now that is like, I make you hyper. And guess how much it was? £3.60 for a coffee like that. It was so strong. I had to go to the toilet twice because of that coffee. Now, when I went to the toilets, they weren't done at all. They still had the blue tiles, white ceramics, and toilet roll all over the place. And they had a sign up in the front of the door saying, "We're hiring staff in the cafe." But I could only see one person, one waitress in there. So, okay, fair enough. Not too bad. Now, as I walked to the end of this clothes area, literally you're walking in the middle of clothes now, you got that intersection where you can go straight down to the fish, or you take a left and you can go straight over to the succulents, or you can take a right and look at the gardening department where you can buy lawnmowers, or you can buy like anything gardeny, horticultural based stuff. If I had to be posh. I'm not posh really. So first things first, where did I go? I took a right and I started making my way downtown, all the way down to where all the plants were, all the bedding plants, annual plants, perennials, trees, shrubs, biennials. And that's looking good there. I like that. So that's a bonus for you guys. I like that. That's all good. Oh, hibbity jibbity, oh, hobbity hobbity hibbity, oh, proper job. I like that. Well, you didn't change that area. I'm happy about that. You didn't change that area. Because that's the one. That is the one area that you do not change one bit. Because if you change that, oh, tipsy-turvy is going to happen. I saw my mate down there and he was hosing away with the plants. And I thought, I'll go talk to him. I said to him, "Look, mate, this is looking too posh so far." And he laughed. He goes, "Yeah, but you've still got the old people here." And I thought, yeah, that's good. That's good. But except one of them working in the cafe now instead of working out in the actual gardens and stuff. But bear in mind, when I was working down there, and that's right, I used to work down there, and I was actually on the compost, which is way down below. Way down below. Where all the ornaments were, where all the tiles and stuff were. Anyway, started walking down, plants looking all good. Then I went down the slope. Went down the slope, and it's looking rubbish. Because I cannot see in my TPTTWD any fish down there now. There is no fish at all down there. Where are they going? I couldn't see no fish down there at all. So I tried looking for the discount place, and right on the side, right behind where that big fence is, there used to be discount plants there. They're not there anymore. So I asked them, where's all the discount plants? They're over there. Yeah. So you're talking to me, you're saying like you got a dead lavender for £10. No, I'm not paying £10 for a dead lavender. You can propagate them, but it wasn't really worth propagating because it was completely dead. You wanted £10 for that. I ain't doing that. Anyway, then one of the workers, no name mentioned, he said to me, "Are you looking for pond stuff?" And I thought, nah, I'm just looking around, see what's happening. I said, all right, carry on then. And I thought, carry on. I might as well fart and walk away. Did you see how solid that was? That'll carry on. It will carry on if you make my drift. So then I went into the fishing gear area. Now, I was expected to see that shed where they had those knives and they had pellet guns and fishing gear and waders. They had everything in there. That wasn't there anymore. That's gone completely. So that was the place I went down, and I brought myself a knife I absolutely love my knives. But it wasn't a throwing knife. It was a Bowie knife. A 10-inch Bowie knife. Absolutely loved it, man. But I don't have all that stuff now, so yeah, because I used to do a lot of knife throwing years ago. But I still can throw a good knife now. I'm good at throwing stuff. Yeah. Anyway, so I thought to myself, where's everything gone? So I went back and I said to the bloke, where's all the fishing gear and everything? He says, sorry, mate, times have changed. And we don't do fishing gear anymore. We don't do fishing tackle. We don't do fish food. We don't do those weed tablets where you can put into the fish pond or wherever you're fishing, and the fish get the weed tablets. That's right, I said weed, cannabis tablets. They chuck it in the river wherever they're fishing. The fish bite it and they float up. They don't sell them anymore. They don't sell frozen stuff. No, that's what I couldn't see any of that around there. So I thought, okay, let's go up that little ramp. That's right, up the little ramp where it used to be so Christmassy, if you know. I mean, whenever it is Christmas down there used to be nice stuff down there, you know, displays everything. We're a bit early talking about that. Well, anyway, so I thought to myself, well, so far it's okay. I'll give it a 3. No, I'll give it a 4 out of 10. So far, nothing else but a 4 out of 10. So then I carried on up to where I was thinking that there was a mating aquatics, which I absolutely loved seeing. So I went down there and I thought, this better cheer me up. So I carried on down into there, and all I could see was a worker walking around marking down prices for outdoor garden furniture. So there's no lots of looking fishies, no betters, there was no crabs, there's no blind cavefish, there's no lovely people to talk to. Because the people in Maiden Aquatics, they've got a lot of common sense and they're very, very funny. But if you talk to the people in the garden centre, just like mumble jumble. I mean, I used to work there, and when I was working there, I had a lot of self-knowledge on plants. But they chucked me down on the actual compost section, which was like right down below there, where you get these massive like statues, ornaments, and sheds. Not a very happy dappy. I wasn't very happy then. But still, it was work at the end of the day, and at the end of the day, I gave up. I'll tell you the reason why. Mind you, this was like years ago. What am I now? 40. Wednesday, 20th, I'll be 41. So then, I must have been about 20 or something like that. They gave me the rubbish jobs, which I really didn't like. Oh, anyway, no main aquatics down there, and I thought, well, this is not turning out to be very good. No, not whatsoever. So I thought to myself, well, where can I go now? Because I've seen everything down here, and it's not very good. It's a 4 out of 10 to me. I thought, okay, well, I'm going to go up to the tills and have a look at this succulents, and I'm going to have a look at the seeds. And what happened? You go up there, there's nothing like that anymore. No. Getting windy out. Nothing like that anymore, it's all gone. Yeah, it's all gone. It's all like, where's everything gone? So I started walking out, and that was with in my mind, a lot of stress happening in my mind. Not stressing, but a lot of memories of the place. Stress was kicking off all the memories and all. That's something to do with your mental health. I had to get out quick anyway, because it was going to rain, and I didn't really want to hang around there anymore, where like you can't see much to enjoy. So I started walking out. I got to the top of the actual driveway where you go down. And I thought, okay, I'm going to have a look around here for a bit. I thought, Where's the daffodils? Where's all the lovely plants they had down there, up top, the entrance? Nothing. Now, I'm going to tell you why I quit. I quit. Yeah, I literally gave up the job. This is when the good garden centre was there, Carden Downs Garden Centre, when that was there, and that was when it was really good. Because when you go into Carden Downs Garden Centre, you had that feeling of entering a garden centre. Now, when you go to Homeleigh Garden Centre, this is coming from me, so it may be different for other people, but when I went in there, it felt like I was going into, I don't know, an industrial estate warehouse. Somebody's house. That's right. I was walking into somebody's house at the start. Well, anyway, basically the reason why I quit. Yeah, the reason being is because, one, when I was sent to cut the grass up top, where they did have daffodils, not the tete-a-tete, but the tall daffodils. They had those, they had the grass and tete, and they had these tall daffodils. Now, they didn't give me the right equipment. And then I asked them, could you tell me when my lunch break is due? Because if I set my mobile phone on vibrate, it's not going to make a difference, because the strimmer vibrates as you're using it. So they never did that. And when you're cutting daffodils, it's got sap on the daffodils that actually, it's very irritant. And if it goes onto your skin, you're going to get blisters wherever it lands. Now, when I was cutting it, I had blisters on my hands, all the way up my forearm, all the way up to my bicep, and all the way up to my neck. So I was covered in blisters from daffodils. And that's why I quit, because they didn't give me the right equipment. And plus, I didn't get along with the manager one bit. No, she didn't like me and I didn't like her. Actually, she never liked me when I first started. She had something against me. One day, she actually told me off, because it was a really quiet morning. Nobody around. There was an old lady just wanting one bag of white pebbles for her garden. And I thought, okay, I'm just going to pick one bag up, go up to the tills and pass it on. And what happened? Stomp, 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 stomp. Get back down there. You are not allowed to bring it up to the customers. They've got to come down. They've got to go to see you. Yeah, this was a really quiet day. It was so quiet. I mean, I could fall asleep and there'd be no customers around. Yeah. Well, anyway, so in total, what do I think about Homeleigh Garden Centre? Yeah, it's good. It's good for like buying stuff. Well, for me, it's good for like if you want to buy plants or furniture and all that kind of stuff. So it's good for other people, because other people enjoy that kind of stuff. But for me, it doesn't give me the vibe of going into a garden centre and feeling like it is a garden centre. But do I recommend the place? Yes, I recommend it. I recommend it, yes. I recommend you go down there, have a look around, buy plants, whatever. Now, to me, the score for the whole lot of that garden centre, doobie doobie, doobie doob, doobie doobie doobie. I'll give it a 6 out of 10. 6 out of 10, that'll do. Tell me your thoughts on what you think of the Homeleigh Garden Centre. Catch you later.